Hi everyone, it's Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and today, well, I'm a little bit late. This would have been perfect for Earth Day, but you know, we should celebrate Earth Day all the time because it's an important place to be. So I'm making the sandalwood soap. I've used this title for the soap before, Into the Sandalwoods. So it's going to be like a little adventure into the woods because I wanted to simulate wood grains, something that looks a little bit like petrified wood because it is an earthy scent after all. And I've been looking at some other soapers make these beautiful wood grain soaps by layering the soap with stripes from a squeeze bottle. But I was feeling kind of lazy too, so I thought, you know what? I do get kind of a wood grain effect when I do the something close to the Clyde Slide soap, which is basically doing concentric circles or arcs of soap pour into each other. And the other important part of this is to select the colors to be earth colors. So what's that all about? Well, that's the focus of today's color tutorial. So basically some reds, oranges, white to lighten it up a bit. And that's it. Let's take a look at the color tutorial and on with the soap making. Okay, so let's look at these earth colors. The first thing I'm going to do is to alter some red. And I'm going to alter some orange. And although these colors exist in nature, in minerals and places, if you go to like the Grand Canyon, you'll see some colors similar to this. My experience says so that it's not quite as cherry red and orange. They're a bit more muted with a little brown. So that's what I want to create. I want to create more of an earth color. So if you combine the reds and the oranges with just a little bit of brown, they can still be somewhat bright, but they'll look more like natural earth colors. So something like that. And I'm going to have that in my soap, pretty much. Sometimes, and I'll do that here, you can add just even a little bit of purple, and you'll see it change just a little bit. It's like a kind of a burgundy color. So now that I have those colors, I can get that on my practice paper right here. It's a little bit diluted, a little bit too much water, so let me mix that again a little bit more dry. A bit better. Like a wine color too. So that's going to be one of my colors, something like that. And then my orange, it's like a burnt orange. But I'm also going to have brown. Not that dark. Now here's where I'm going to be somewhat altering the brown, maybe with some yellow in it. Maybe a little bit of white. I still want a bright version of brown, so I'm conscious of that. Something like that. I'm also going to have some bright orange. And then lastly, some gold. Hard to recreate without a gold paint. I'm going to do that here. Although when you put the metallic-like colors within the soap, it doesn't remain metallic for the most part. So it'll look somewhat like that. And lastly, you won't be able to see it very well on paper. I'm going to have white. And I want the white in there to brighten the soap a little bit. Because if you want to get the rings of a wood grain or anything like that in a soap or in a painting, the more you can incorporate a stripe here and there of white, the more you'll have some differentiation and see the rings a little bit better. But anyway, that's a color tutorial based on earth colors, and let's get on with the soap making. Okay, I'm going to blend my oils and additives. You're going to add the lye solution. My trusty spatula. I'm going to stir more and blend less with this because I don't want it to accelerate too much. The fragrance says that there's light acceleration, but when I hear that, I'm prepared for the worst. So let me pour my colors first, mix it up a little, and then add my fragrance. Here's my orange. And my Aborigine bronze. It's like a brown bronze. And my passionata, which is a glimmery maroon magenta. It's hard to describe. It's beautiful though. And that's going to be my titanium dioxide. Actually, I don't really want as much white on second thought, so I'm going to add a little bit more to my colors. And that's a great color. I'm actually going to do more stirring than blending of the colors. Starting with the white. And the white's going to have to be blended too, but I'll give it a good head start. I want it decently white too, so get a little bit more in there. Stir my orange a little. The passionata red. It's like a brick red. And this rich brown. My mica drizzles are already mixed. Okay, so let me do some blending first before I add the fragrance. This is gonna be a bubbly mess, but I'm gonna stir out the bubbles. A nice off-white cream. And I'm going to stir in my fragrance a little there. So far behaving itself. Okay, then I'm going to do a Clyde Slide. Haven't done that in a while. And I want to do like a wood grain soap, but I don't want to have to fuss with it too much. But I've made, as you know, the Clyde Slide quite a few times. And what I'm going to do is be really aware of where the spout is, because I want everything to be symmetrical from that point. Just add a little bit of white. I'm going to be really spare with the white. It's a little dab of basically like an in the pot swirl. Just a little bit of white. And I'm going to repeat that same order. And the batter is staying very fluid, so I'm happy. A little white. Of course, the more times I go around like this with little bits of soap, the more intricate those lines will be, which is what I want. The rest of that in there with some scrapings for the top. Okay, now we're finally ready to pour into the mold. I'll clean up my mess a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, let's pour this, and I'm going to pour. Let's see, lighting's really bad here. Let's see if I can change. Okay, so here's my spout, and I'm going to pour straight through that in a line and just go back and forth. I'm going to start with the rest of these colors. I'm going to start with a darker one. The red. And the orange. And finally the white. I want to drizzle this a little differently. Think about this. I'm going to try to go laterally. I want the top to look like the grains of wood also, so I'm keep it pretty much in a line this way. A little bit of gold. Okay, could leave well enough alone like that, but I'm going to try just going this way. And add a couple knots in the wood grain here and there. Let's get a little spray of alcohol. And we'll call that done. We'll come back for the cut. Okay, let's cut the sandalwood soap. Still a little soft. Wanted it to look like wood grain, and it does, so I'm happy about that. And I like the colors, so far so good. I think there's just enough white in this to give it some brightness. So it's a different wood texture. The texture I'm picking up on right now is like a slice through a branch. So like this would be the branch, and following the circle of that branch. And people who've done the wood grain soaps, they're just really beautiful. Maybe one day I'll try that with the squeeze bottles. But hats off to you. They're beautiful to look at. That ring. Okay, I'm bring back one. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to continue with my inspiration of artists and try to capture some of the look of their artwork in my soap. And people really like that, and I like it too. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye now. And so I'm going to give that a shot. And the other thing is to pick the right colors for this. I kind of zoomed in on